Jada Pinkett Smith recently shocked everyone with the news about her and Will's separation, but her fresh memoir, Worthy, has a myriad of other surprising revelations. What shocked Jada the most about the Oscar slap?
I'm like, what is going on right now?
Why did the Smiths hide that they were separated for years? And what almost made Jada take her own life?
It's a really painful time. I'm sorry.
The infamous slap. For Jada, this event from 2022's Oscars was one of the most surreal moments of her life. But in her book, she revealed that she could actually see it coming. In fact, Pinkett Smith even had a premonition about it when she saw Chris Rock coming onto the stage. After all, the comedian was known for taking swipes at her. For example, back in 2016, Jada called to boycott the Oscars ceremony because it lacked racial diversity. Chris, who was the ceremony host that year, didn't keep this fact out of his opening monologue.
Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited.
So Jada had no doubt that he'd make a joke about her again.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it, all right?
The joke broke her heart. She hated that Chris had made fun of alopecia, the disease that had caused her hair loss. Jada knew that it wouldn't only hurt her, but also other people and children who suffer from it. Yet her husband had an even stronger reaction. At first, Jada didn't even understand what was happening.
When I saw him get up, I was like, oh, did he and Chris decide to do this bit together?
But it definitely wasn't part of the joke.
Keep my wife's name out your f***ing mouth!
I'm going to, okay?
Like everyone else, Jada was utterly disturbed by the situation. What shocked her the most was the fact that Will called her his wife, because he hadn't done that for a long time. Separated, yet not divorced. Days before her memoir came out, Jada revealed that she and Will had gone their separate ways a long time ago.
So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
By then, they had been together for almost 2 decades. And Jada suddenly felt that they reached the point of irreconcilable differences.
Will and I had pictures in our mind of what a happily married couple was, and our pictures didn't match.
But the stars didn't want to get divorced because of the vow Jada made before marrying Will. Back then, he offered to sign a prenup, and she refused to think about the end of their marriage before it even began. So to honor her promise, they decided to separate in every way except legally. Yet the Smiths didn't want to speak about it publicly. They only planned to reveal the truth in 2020 when the story of Jada's alleged romance with August Alsina surfaced. But it didn't happen for a simple reason.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for the world to know that. I had to respect that. Well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to.
At the same time, their separation doesn't mean the end of their relationship. Because even after all those years, Will and Jada are still trying hard to make things work. Curiously enough, the Oscars slap became a catalyst and brought them closer.
Our movement back into therapy and his invitation for me to be at his side for award season told me that we weren't ready to give everything up just yet.
And after Will slapped Chris, Jada realized something for the first time in years, that she wanted to stand by him as his wife, no matter what. And to this day, the hard work continues.
We are in a place now that we are in a deep healing space, and we are really concentrating on healing the relationship between us.
But Jada's book also revealed that she could have married a completely different person, a relationship that never happened. She met rapper Tupac Shakur at the Baltimore School for the Arts when she was 15. Jada felt an immediate connection with him, and the two quickly became inseparable. However, they lacked romantic chemistry and knew it. Once Jada and Tupac tried to kiss, but it only lasted for a few seconds because they both pulled away in mutual disgust. It felt like a kiss between a brother and a sister. Yet the two managed to form a bond that would impact Jada's life forever, as the star writes in her memoir.
Pac made up for the lack of male protection and care I sought.
And she also took care of Tupac, buying him clothes and shoes when he was an up-and-coming rapper. But there was a point when their relationship could have become something more. While Shakur was in prison, He asked Jada to marry her in a handwritten letter. Now, as I have slipped from grace and the world has turned against me, a few claim to have love for me, but once again you show me your love, he wrote, according to her recollection. Jada rejected the offer as she thought he only wanted her to be his wife because he was in prison, and sometime after that, their bond was gone. When Tupac died, they weren't even speaking, and Jada still regrets not reaching out to him sooner. Another man who wanted to have a romantic relationship with her was surprisingly Chris Rock. He asked her out when rumors started swirling about the Smiths getting a divorce. Jada told Chris that she and Will were still married, and he apologized. It is unclear whether her rejection was connected to him taking jabs at her, but of course her book didn't only talk about her relationships with men. The lowest point. Throughout the book, Jada reveals a lot about her mental health struggles. She's thought about taking her own life since her early 20s. Even though her Hollywood career was booming, the star was drowning in a tidal wave of sadness. Jada felt the void inside and was utterly depressed, despite all the riches that came her way. She felt like she was unworthy of love and even to be alive. She revealed in one of the chapters just how serious her intention was.
The more I tried to unthink the image of slitting my wrist, the more afraid I became that I would actually do it.
At some point, her mother convinced her to go to therapy, and it helped for a while. But the problem didn't go away completely. Instead, it culminated and got more severe around her 40th birthday. Since she wasn't happy in her marriage, the star thought about leaving this world more and more. Jada actually seriously thought about staging a car accident. She wanted to make her death look unintentional for the sake of her kids.
I told myself they would be okay. They would have their father, a devoted and great dad.
The only thing that stopped her from doing it was the fear that she wouldn't die in the accident. Ultimately, Jada was diagnosed with complex trauma with PTSD and dissociation, and what helped her come out of it was taking a psychedelic called ayahuasca. The star first took it in her living room along with her son Jaden and his friends back in 2011.
What do I have to lose? If it killed me, great, mission accomplished. If not, thank God.
And ever since then, Jada stopped having those dark thoughts. She finally felt that she was worthy of love and deserved the gift of being alive. Yet she admitted that it would take her more time to heal all of her soul wounds. And in the beginning of this year, a similar psychedelic ceremony helped Jada look at Will differently.
Our multi-layered, complicated history didn't change the undefeated truth that I could no longer deny our spiritual bond.
So she told him he is the king of her heart, and he replied that she's the queen of his.
We both understood that these declarations were not a romantic nature.
This experience helped them rediscover their unconditional love for each other. And of course, everyone wants to know how Jada's family reacted to her memoir. So let's talk about that. What do Will and the kids think? Unsurprisingly, her revelations weren't as shocking for them as they were for all of us. Will, Jaden, and Willow knew what Jada wanted to share with the world and didn't mind. Being an avid reader and a writer as well, Willow read the entire book even before it was edited. Pinkett Smith revealed that her daughter was very excited about it and loved the memoir. Jaden still hasn't read it, but his mother is sure that he'll do so eventually. In his turn, Will shared with the New York Times that the book woke him up. And it also made him realize that Jada is more resilient, clever, and compassionate than he'd understood. Plus, the actor wrote a letter to his wife, and Jay Shetty read it to her during their podcast.
If I had read this book 30 years ago, I definitely would have hugged you more. I'll start now.
Will's words almost made Jada cry and laugh at the same time.
Now go get some Merlot and take a rest.
He know I can't have no more love. That's beautiful. And that's why I can't divorce that joker.
And then once again, he proved his humorous nature. Will shared what he called an official statement on his Instagram.
I got something for you. Here's the thing. So, my opinion of the...
So maybe we should take Will's hint and leave the Smiths in peace and just wish them happiness. What revelation from Jada's book was the most shocking for you? Share in the comments below, and then go ahead and watch our video about how the Smiths parent their kids.